Today on Investigate TV Plus, artificial exploitation. Innocent photos and videos of children plucked from social media and twisted into something explicit.
These are people that I grew up with, that my children are friends with.
We take an in-depth look at how students in a quiet community became victims of deepfakes, the challenges law enforcement face tracking this technology, plus
they may be the first line of defense for those who are trying to exploit their children.
Hear from those working for solutions to reduce the risk.
Then just keep swimming.
We have a good feeling that a lot of our actions stand a good chance of where they get to the Gulf.
They may look like baby steps, but one of the smallest creatures in the Gulf is taking a giant leap towards defying the odds. We explain how a remote island allows an endangered species to thrive.
And we receive sound advice.
Every single day you learn, and you generally learn the most from your mistakes.
From a man inspired to escape the boundaries of his comfort zone.
In-depth stories that inform and inspire. You're watching Investigate TV Plus.
Artificial intelligence unlocks new creative possibilities, but this evolving technology can also open the door to risks, including to your children's well-being. I'm Lee Zurich.
And I'm Tisha Powell. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children says it's seen a sharp increase in reports of crimes using generative AI. In the first 6 months of 2025, the NCMEC received more than 440,000 calls to its tip line, compared to more than 6,800 reports during the same time the previous year. Experts say this isn't just a heartbreaking statistic, it also represents someone's child in crisis.
Reporter Kelly Cook takes an in-depth look at how artificial exploitation affected a small town outside Memphis and speak to those working for solutions to protect children.
This is Corinth, Mississippi, about an hour and a half east of Memphis. Population just under 15,000. A quiet community, best known for slug burgers and Civil War history. Shaken to its core.
Teacher with the Corinth School District is facing charges after police say he used AI to create explicit videos of students.
The community was furious, as they should have been.
Investigators say 30-year-old Wilson Jones, a teacher here at Corinth Middle School, was on the job when IT staff got a severe alert to sexually explicit content being downloaded onto his computer.
We were alerted by the Mississippi Department of Education.
According to court records, investigators found 3 videos of children kissing and exposing themselves on Wilson's laptop. Deep fakes created using artificial intelligence, depicting the faces and bodies of 8 female students between 14 and 16 years old.
It's real hard because, you know, these are people that I grew up with, that my children are friends with.
The girls were never actually filmed. The videos were completely computer generated. A disturbing new trend in online CSAM, child sexual abuse material.
It's a very new problem, right? It's a new problem for parents. It's a new problem for teens. It's a new problem for lawmakers.
Chris McKenzie represents Americans for Responsible Innovation. The nonprofit successfully lobbied Congress to pass the Take It Down Act, criminalizing CSAM digital forgeries and mandating social media platforms remove the content within 48 hours once notified.
So that's a much faster turnaround time. Previously, a lot of these teens who had been a target had nowhere to go for help.
But removing fake explicit content is one thing. Preventing it from being created is something else altogether. According to the federal arrest affidavit, Wilson Jones told investigators he took pictures from the girls' social media accounts. And then, according to FBI agents who analyzed his computer, Jones used an easily accessible AI generator to make the illicit videos he's charged with possessing.
I've been an agent for 20 years and I've seen it the entirety of my career. It's just evolving to, better presentation, I should say.
Special Agent Tanika Blackwell with the FBI field office in Memphis says new advancements in AI technology make it even harder for law enforcement and parents to keep up.
Parents must sometimes log out of their own social media accounts and log into their children's, because they may be the first line of defense for those who are trying to exploit their children, groom their children.
In July 2025, Tennessee made it a felony to possess or distribute synthetic or digitally created images of minors in pornographic context. Arkansas and Mississippi have similar laws on the books. A new realm for prosecution, considering no real contact, physical or otherwise, has to be made between a predator and victim.
So there's a lot of people who say that this type of crime is a victimless crime. Why is this still against the law?
It isn't victimless because those images are out there forever as it, relates to children maturing, going to college, applying for scholarships, applying for jobs. A Google search of their image may pull those things up, and they had no idea. They gave no consent for that to be created in their likeness.
Parents in Corinth, Mississippi did not find out about the case against Wilson Jones until March 2025, despite Jones allegedly getting caught with the videos and resigning in November 2024. Court records show then Corinth District Superintendent Dr. Lee Childress waited more than 2 months to contact police over Jones's alleged activities. He too was indicted for hindering the prosecution. We spoke to the new interim superintendent, Dr. John Barnett, just before the start of this school year.
What would you say to parents about why they should feel safe in their kids coming to school here?
We value the opportunity to work with the children and educate, and our focus is on trying to do what's best for children moving forward. We've evaluated our policies to make sure everything is updated and in alignment in terms of technology and artificial intelligence, to make sure those are addressed in our policies.
You can report any concerns to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children's tip line at cybertipline.org.
And go to InvestigateTV.com to learn more about the impact of AI-generated images. We'll show you the best way to identify what's real versus what's fake.
Experts say bad actors use AI to make cyber attacks more evasive and difficult to counter.
Still ahead, we examine a new defensive strategy in cybersecurity and explain how it provides a solution to protect sensitive information.
But first, a baby boom.
That's tracks from turtles.
An endangered species seizes its second chance. We travel to a remote island off the Louisiana coast to show why this habitat is the perfect nursery.
You can watch Investigate TV Plus anytime online. Just subscribe to our YouTube channel at Investigate TV. You can catch stories and full episodes. The once abundant red-cockaded woodpecker faced extinction due to a century of habitat loss. But in 2024, the National Park Service upgraded the bird from endangered to threatened because of intensive conservation efforts. Conservationists say the woodpecker flourished thanks to the Endangered Species Act, or ESA.
The ESA provides legal protection to animals designated as threatened or endangered. The act played a role in the comebacks of many species, including the American bald eagle, the American alligator, and the whooping crane. Off the coast of Louisiana, the smallest sea turtle in the world may be the next in line for resurgence.
Reporter John Snell takes us to an island to examine the efforts helping nurture this baby boom.
On what seems like a calm early morning, we head out of Ocean Springs, Mississippi, for an hour-long, occasionally bumpy ride in the Gulf. The adventure's only beginning. A good-sized boat gets you only so close to the ultimate destination. Then comes a half-mile-long hike to arguably the most isolated place in Louisiana, the Chandeleur Islands.
As remote as this spot is, it's just as critical from an ecological standpoint. A point driven home with the surprise discovery a few years ago.
State biologists conducting surveys in 2022 found sea turtles using the islands as a nesting spot, including the highly endangered Kemp's Ridley turtle. A state trail camera captures hatchlings emerging from their nest and darting toward the Gulf.
Yeah, depth to egg chamber is 12 inches.
State wildlife and fisheries biologist Matt Weigel explains the isolated nature of the islands may work to the turtles' advantage. There's little in the way of light pollution to confuse new hatchlings making their way toward the sea.
We don't have those large predators here.
Crabs pose a threat, but little else.
We have a good feeling that a lot of our hatchlings stand a good chance of when they get to the Gulf.
On this day, they find evidence of one failed nest. Biologists aren't exactly sure what happened, but one theory involves the island's elevation. They've lost significant height, including many of the dunes that make for good nesting grounds.
Everything's kind of low, so if the tide gets over the nest, it'll drown them.
The Chandeleur chain is part of America's second oldest national wildlife refuge. This place might easily have been written off. Over the last couple hundred years, the islands have lost 90% of their landmass.
The Chandeleur Islands are in danger of going away forever if we don't do something now.
That something is a $380 million plan to rebuild 13 miles of the island chain by pumping sand back onto the islands. The Coastal Protection Authority hopes court settlements from the 2010 Gulf oil spill provide most of the funding.
Having the opportunity for these settlement dollars from Deepwater Horizon is a once-in-a-lifetime chance. Fingers crossed that we don't have a tragedy like that happen again.
The Macondo well blowout killed 11 workers and belched 134 million gallons of crude into the Gulf. The Chandeleurs were heavily oiled during the spill.
But had it not been for that spill and the funding that's been made available from that spill, we probably wouldn't be standing here today talking about this project.
That's tracks from turtles.
Scientists documented at least 28 successful nests, including more than 500 Kemp's Ridley hatchlings. This nest provided an uplifting end to the trip.
We're feeling great, John. These guys are digging up a nest, a Kemp's Ridley nest, and so far every egg they're grabbing out is just a fragment of a shell.
Project manager Todd Baker says that means the eggs all successfully hatched.
This female clearly chose the right location. She's got some elevation. She's up over the dune. There's not much dune left on Chandeleur anymore, but this female chose a good location up in the dune, so her nest was high and dry.
Scientists have studied where nests are successful here and where they're not. The aim is to design a renovation that mimics those elevations and finds a perfect niche for the turtles and their newborns.
Different boards control the BP oil spill money. One of them has already issued a draft plan that includes nearly $250,000 to restore the islands.
Still to come, logger by trade,
Timber!
polo referee for fun.
Your players please line up.
But another calling inspired him to serve. We introduce you to a senior who refuses to shy away from a challenge. But first, conquering trust issues.
We explain why zero trust might be the best way to prevent you from getting scammed. If you've ever left your front door unlocked, you know that uneasy feeling anyone could have walked in.
Cybersecurity works the same way. Once someone slips past the firewall, the front door of your digital house, they could often move around unchecked. For a hospital, that breach could have life-threatening implications. In October 2022, Kelly Parsi brought her then 3-year-old son Jay to an ER in Des Moines, Iowa. He was dehydrated after a recent tonsillectomy earlier that week at the same hospital. What happened next still brings Kelly to tears.
She just had like this big syringe of Tylenol and gave him Tylenol. And then the pediatrician came in and was like, hey, I need to talk to you. We overdosed your son. We have a Narcan on the standby. I can't even talk.
It was later revealed that Jay received too much Tylenol with codeine. Kelly says the confusion was due to a ransomware attack at the hospital that caused problems with access to records, including her son's.
Ransomware is a type of malware that holds a victim's data or device hostage, threatening to keep it locked, or worse, unless the attacker is paid. In 2024, the FBI reports Americans lost more than $16 billion to online crime, a one-year jump of 33%. Globally, total losses are projected to soar to $23 trillion by 2027.
Reporter Riley Wyant examines how a zero-trust approach provides a powerful frontline defense against cyber attacks.
Our society has trust issues, but Dr. Christopher White says that's a good thing.
So if somebody calls you, and almost no matter what they say, immediately consider them to be untrustworthy.
This attitude called zero trust might just be the thing that keeps you from being scammed.
We've moved to zero trust, right? Zero trust is the architecture of cybersecurity in the workforce today. It's a set of principles that basically says never assume you are safe because of the security steps you've already taken.
In an era where digital threats are escalating, Dr. White says understanding the intersection of technology and security is vital. The rise of new technologies and artificial intelligence has transformed the cybersecurity landscape.
Your average person tends to think about the personal safety piece of it. 2025, following on from 2024, we've seen extensive new forms of attack against America's critical infrastructure by actors across that criminal to nation-state gamut.
Recent cyber attacks now highlighting just how vulnerable our critical infrastructure is. Over 300 major organizations from the medical field to our manufacturing industry were targeted by the Medusa ransomware group. Additionally, the Department of Homeland Security has warned this is just the beginning.
Oftentimes, our laws are behind the technology.
Yeah, there's a degree to which that's inevitable as well. There's good models around the world, and we're not there in the United States.
The European Union, Dr. White says, is a good example.
The European Union has passed their AI Act recently, which is the first global major regulation which deals with the regulation of AI based on risk categories.
Dr. White says one thing that keeps him up at night is criminals who use ransomware to cause physical harm.
They're not looking for money, they're just looking to encrypt the data, and they'll never give you the key, at which point they've destroyed the data. Okay, apply that to a healthcare system. You're in a situation there where people in hospital, the nursing staff are not able to access information about the kinds of medication, the amounts of medication somebody is meant to have.
This all may seem daunting, but Dr. White says the more we learn, the better we adapt.
The lessons we're learning are always evolving in this space. That is true for our adversaries as much as it is for the defenders.
A 2021 executive order mandated that federal agencies adopt zero trust. The Department of Defense has set 2027 as its deadline for full compliance.
Up next, from chopping wood to playing a chucker of polo,
I've had a pretty complex life.
we introduce you to a modern-day Renaissance man.
You have to be tough to work in the woods, but even tougher to enter the political arena.
Reporter Joe Carroll introduces us to a logger who leads what you could call a complex life.
Jed Lipsky arrives with a roar to his latest job, taking down pine trees in Middlesex.
So I started cutting when I was 15 and loved it. Very challenging.
That was back in his native Massachusetts, where he made ski trails.
Where's your crew?
You're looking at them.
Jed's old school. Cutting and wedging, making sure the tree falls on a dime.
Experience teach you a lot.
Even so, with all those years, 55 professionally, there's bound to be accidents.
I've had a lot of surgeries.
Have you? Broken bones?
Oh, yeah.
Timber!
It's considered the most dangerous profession in North America.
Jed is not what you may think of a traditional logger.
I've had a pretty complex life.
Competitive skier,
A pretty wonderful life.
pilot, and professional polo player.
It's the first time I've been on a horse in a year.
Today, Jed is the sole umpire for the Sugarbush Polo Club in Shelburne.
Now, the horse you're going to get today, you've never ridden before?
probably never seen before.
Petey is Jed's partner,
I'll just introduce myself to you.
15-year-old gelding.
Jed Lipsky, I'm going to be umpiring. Oh, horse feels wonderful.
It's a tournament named after Holly Ward.
Can players please line up?
A logger polo player that got Jeb hooked on the sport.
This Vermont polo.
No Range Rovers and Jags here, just pickups and Fords. Instead of periods, polo has chukkers, 6 in all.
Whoa, that's true.
In like logging, there's dangers. A player slid off his saddle and hit the ground hard.
Just stay down there.
Back in Middlesex, Jed opens up about his time as a professional polo player in his early 30s.
I played in the All-Ireland Championships. I've played in the Dominican Republic. I've played in Hawaii. Played in Texas. It was a big distraction for several years.
His logging business suffered along with his marriage.
Joe, let's make it, I consider it a quest for glory, and it was a false quest.
Now 78, working alone gives him time to reflect.
Every single day you learn, and you generally learn the most from your mistakes.
With that knowledge, Jed has stepped under the Golden Dome.
I'm definitely the only logger in the Vermont legislature.
In Independent, representing Stowe, easily beating his opponent in the first race. The second time around, he ran unopposed.
I feel very fortunate.
Like his trees,
Timber.
Jed is, well, down to earth.
Tell you what, after watching that, I'm stuck when he's 78 and is out there on a horse, officiating polo, knocking down trees. What an impressive guy.
Making laws.
Yeah, exactly. Make laws, too, in the legislature. Yeah, all that.
Yeah.
It's a long day.
Well, that's it for us on Investigate TV Plus. I'm Tisha Powell.
And I'm Lee Zurich. Thanks for watching. On the next Investigate TV Plus, patients waiting for a diagnosis for memory loss often face expensive, invasive tests and an agonizing wait.
For some patients, it could take years, but our goal is to make this much, much faster.
We take an in-depth look at a new blood test to detect Alzheimer's disease sooner and how it could help some patients hold on to their memories.